Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. I just wanted to hop on and introduce myself to you. Pastor Chris asked if I would take his Monday devotional and introduce myself. My name is Jonathan, and I am the new youth director here at Grace in St. Joseph. And we are so excited to be here. I've already met many of you. You guys have been so wonderful, so welcoming, and we have been adjusting really well. I am here along with my beautiful wife, Melissa. She goes by Mel, and our 6-month-old daughter, Reagan. And we are adjusting really quickly. We're settling in pretty quickly here, getting to know the area. And it's a pretty small town. It's not too hard to learn and to understand it. I love how I can go 5 or 10 minutes right down the street to run some errands. Where we lived before, I sometimes would have to drive 20 to 30 minutes just to go somewhere I needed to get something. So here it's just going across town, which is, only about 15 minutes, which is really nice. But yeah, we're so excited to be here. And I just wanted to briefly share about what led us here. My wife and I, we are Southern California natives. We're refugees from Southern California, are here in Missouri now with you guys. And I just wanted to briefly share about what led us here and how God led us here. And the beginning of last year, I was reading through the book of Genesis, and it was the story of Abraham, actually, that really stuck out to me, that really stuck with me for the coming months. And this is well before I was even offered the opportunity to come out here and to serve the youth here and to serve you guys. And the story of Abraham, specifically, obviously about the covenant that was made with God, or that God made with him, about bringing him into the land and giving him an inheritance. And Abraham was called by God, and Abraham simply needed to respond in faith and to respond by saying yes to the calling that God had put on his life. And for some reason, this story, this passage, stuck out to me for months to come. And in the following months, that's when, Pastor Josh, I was pretty close with before. We worked together previous years, and we stayed connected after he even moved here and started pastoring Grace, and reached out to me and offered me this position and offered me this opportunity. And initially, it was a pretty big offer in regards to, at the time it was given a month before our daughter was born. And as you can imagine, a young family who's about to have their first daughter, being offered a position that's halfway across the country and having to move your family halfway across the country, as you can imagine, that's a big decision. And initially I kind of thought, okay, I'll think about it. I don't really want to think too much about it right now because, obviously our daughter's about to be born. And as any reasonable wife or mother would understand, my wife initially was like, I do not want to think about this right now. So we considered it, we prayed about it, and in the coming months, our daughter was born, and she had some health complications at first. She ended up in the NICU for a week, but thankfully, by God's hand, he got her out of there and healed her up, and she was made well, and we were able to go home. And in the coming months, that's when Pastor Josh reached out again and said, hey, do you want to explore the opportunity a little bit more? And from there, we kind of set things in motion, and we came out here to visit. Some of you, we had the chance to visit in November when we were here for a week or two. I should say it was only for a weekend. But we got to see the area. We got to meet some of you guys at the church, attend Grace. And then we went home and continued to consider it. And then it was mid-December when we decided that we wanted to to answer the call, to say yes to this opportunity that was clearly presented by God, to come here and to serve the youth and to serve the body here, and to really help out with what I believe is a work that God wants to do here in this area and in this city. And my wife and I, we are truly excited to be here. We dearly miss our friends and family who are back in Southern California, but you guys have been making us feel so welcome. You've been so warm, and it has truly been a huge help and an encouragement to us. But yeah, we are adjusting really well. We're settling in really quickly. But I wanted to share specifically about that passage in Genesis, and a New Testament correlation for that passage is actually Hebrews chapter 11, verse 8. And this is something that clearly just summarizes the call that was put on Abraham's life and the response that he made. And it says, "By faith, Abraham obeyed when he was called to go out to the place which he would receive as an inheritance. And he went out not knowing where he was going." And so I'm actually going to continue on by saying, verse 9 says, "By faith he dwelt in the land of promise as in a foreign country, dwelling in the tents with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise." And so in thinking about the story of Abraham, back last year, at the beginning of last year, before I was even offered this opportunity, this passage, the main theme that was sticking out to me was the possibility in the near future of having to answer the call of God and to say yes and to take a step of faith. And this was most definitely a step of faith that my wife and I had to take. Prior to even coming out here and seeing the area, we had never been to the Midwest. We had never been to Missouri. We had no idea what to expect. Frankly, and some of you know, I've shared this with some of you already, but frankly, I think we just thought it was just flat farmlands everywhere. But when we came, we actually were pleasantly surprised with the rolling hills and the trees. We came in the fall, and there was really pretty colors on the trees, and we actually really like the area, and it's very pretty. You guys actually experience seasons here in the Midwest. In Southern California, there's really no seasons. It's kind of just the same year round, and you kind of don't know when you're going into from one season into another. So that's one thing. But this was definitely a step of faith for us. And one thing that has been very encouraging, as we can learn from the story of Abraham, is by Abraham's step of faith and his simple response in saying yes to God's calling, we see that God provided for him. We see that God protected him, and that God guided him. And without a doubt, I can say with full confidence that we too have seen that by simply saying yes to this opportunity and to the calling. And God has provided for us. He's provided a home for us to live in. He's provided all the necessary things for us to get settled in. He's protected us on getting us out here, and he has truly guided and directed us. And every single day, it seems like we receive more and more confirmation that this was the right decision. And again, we are so excited to be here. Again, you guys have been so warm and so welcoming. And if you see us around at church, please feel free to introduce yourselves. We have been meeting so many people, and I have a lot of names that I have to remember, but I'm going to do my best. Please forgive me if we forget your names and are asking maybe 3 or 4 times. We are going to do our best to get to know you guys, and especially for any of you who maybe have youth in the youth ministry. My wife and I grew up well, partially, I grew up going into youth ministry. My wife started going to youth ministry when she was about a freshman or sophomore. And that's actually, it's the place where both my wife and I got saved. And we experienced both tremendous growth under the youth ministries that we attended back in Southern California at our home church. And we know that this age is a very impressionable age, and it's a very awkward age. And in high school, I know there's a lot of difficulties of life changing and friend groups and identity and all this stuff. And especially in this world, in this culture that we live in today, so many things have changed ever since I was in high school, or my wife and I were in high school. And really that was only, 7 or 8 years ago. But a lot has changed, and we're here for you guys that are parents, we're here to come alongside you, most importantly, and support you and the discipleship that's happening at home. We want you to know that if you need anything, feel free to reach out to us. Don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're here to help you. And secondly, we're here to disciple your kids, to love on your students, and to be there for them, to teach them the Bible, to give them an opportunity and a space where they can come and have community and fellowship with other students that are their age who have the same beliefs. And that was something that was so huge for my wife and I, having a place where we can develop a community of like-minded people and have a really strong friend group where we can grow together. We can disciple each other, and we can also share the gospel with one another, and going out and doing evangelism and stuff like that. That was something that was really big for us in high school. So again, we're so excited to be here. Kind of wanted to keep it short, just as a little intro for who we are, and we look forward to, again, meeting more and more of you. Don't hesitate to come up and introduce yourselves at church throughout the week. And again, thank you guys for being so warm and welcoming, and that's it.